I love the holidays, and October marks the beginning of the holiday season. So I'm going to give some tips on how we can all stay healthy and safe during the holidays. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is food. What's a holiday without food? There's chocolates, there's wine, there's cake, there's all kinds of things that are very tempting, and a lot of us let go of all our dietary restrictions during the holidays. But if you have an illness, you may not have that luxury. So you may want to communicate with the host or hostess about what your specific needs are. If you have a recipe, you could give it to them and they can cook it and make it, something that you can eat while everyone's there so you don't have to worry. But if you do not have a recipe, then you may be able to talk to your host or hostess about bringing something in that you can enjoy while everybody's eating what they love as well. Another thing you may want to think about is when you have medications that you have to take throughout the day, think about the schedule of things and how things are going to flow throughout the day during the holidays. You may want to take your medications before you go a little early, or you may want to think about taking your medications the moment you walk through the door when you get home. Now, if you have a strict time for your medications and you find that it's going to fall at the time of a festivity, you may want to have an accountability partner who also is checking the clock with you and reminds you very discreetly that it's time for you to stand up and go take your medications. Now, if you're among people who don't mind, set an alarm. As soon as it rings, everybody knows they have to pause stuff for you to go get your meds and come back. Now, another thing you want to think about when it comes to medication is having a medication list. Obviously, if you have that list with you, something goes wrong for some reason, you have to go to the emergency room, you're in a different town, you have that list, you don't have to think about anything, you give it to the ED docs or the hospitalist or whoever's there, and they know what to do, they know what medications you're on, and so on. If you are going to be traveling, you want to think about taking more medications than you need. So for instance, if you're going to be going for 3 days, then you may want to take 6 days worth of medications. Why? Well, we know about airport delays. You may change your mind and want to stay a little longer, and you don't want to have to miss your medication dosages or start worrying about how to get your meds in while you're there having fun and enjoying your family and your friends. Big one is sanitation. By sanitation, I mean you need to be thinking about wipes, sanitizers, masks, depending on what you're doing and where you're going and what kind of health issues you have. So if you're the host, you want to put as much sanitizers as you have around the house. If you're a traveler, you want to make sure you have your sanitary wipes and travel size sanitizers with you. Use as frequently as you can. Obviously, for everybody, hand washing is the gold standard. Wash as frequently. If you have a viral illness of any kind, you want to be telling the people you're going to be socializing with, and so you guys can come up with a plan of maybe sitting out more spaced out, wearing a mask by the person who is sick or whatever. Remember, we need to be mindful, cutesy, and demure while we celebrate. The final thing, if you start to have any kind of symptoms, you want to quickly call your PCP or pay attention to the symptoms and go to the emergency room, and so on and so forth. The thing is, around the holidays, we tend to relax a little bit, and no one can be blamed for that. But that's the reason why we have an uptick of people who come to the emergency room. But if you plan ahead, you can have a wonderful holiday, and you don't have to end up here with me in the hospital after you've had your celebrations. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.